welcome you with India Today. It's 5 o'clock this Monday evening. I'm Smita Sharma and there's lots happening across the nation, globally. We'll also tell you what's trending on social media. But let's get started with the big story we are focusing on. Shiv Sena Youth Wing Chief and Party Chief Uddhav Thackeray's heir apparent, Aaditya Thackeray has backed the attack on Sudheendra Kulkarni. Aaditya Thackeray has told India Today that the ink attack is justified. Thackeray Jr. also branded the ink attack as non-violent. He adds that one should not compare the Sena ink to martyrs' blood. Thackeray Jr. justified the vicious ink attack. Aaditya Thackeray told India Today that the ink attack was democratic as well as historic. Let's get in a word from consulting editor Rajdeep Sardesai. Rajdeep, take us through first of all what all has Aaditya Thackeray said, and clearly he is keeping that Sena banner flying high when it comes to their line or their thoughts on Pakistan.
Well, clearly Aaditya Thackeray has justified the attack on Sudheendra Kulkarni, in fact gone to the extent of calling it non-violent, democratic and historic, and saying that they have every right to express their feelings in this manner if Pakistanis are allowed to come to Mumbai, pointing out what he calls the double standards of Pakistan targeting India through terror and then expecting India to show hospitality towards a former Pakistani foreign minister. Clearly, Aaditya Thackeray thereby is sending a message to the foot soldiers of the Shiv Sena that they have every right to disrupt the book release function of Mr. Kasuri, prevent a music concert of Ghulam Ali from taking place, and stop all cultural exchanges with Pakistan. But it is really the definition of non-violence. If throwing ink, Mr. Thackeray believes is non-violence, then you must ask serious questions as to what is the kind of politics that the Shiv Sena believes in. And remember, Smita, the Shiv Sena is not a party of the opposition at the moment. It's a party that is sharing power in Maharashtra with the Chief Minister himself of the BJP, Devendra Fadnavis, saying that he will ensure full security for Mr. Kasuri and the book release function.
But, Rajdeep, just one clarification. Reports coming in suggested that Uddhav Thackeray, after, facing all the flack from across political sections and civil society, decided to step down and back down as far as those protests are concerned. Now, after talking to Aaditya Thackeray, what is the feeling? The Shiv Sena protest against Kasuri's book launch, are they on, are they off?
Look, I haven't spoken to Aaditya Thackeray. Our conversation has gone through open letters on Facebook and the social media. But it is clear that the tone and tenor of Aaditya Thackeray's letter suggests that the Shiv Sena is not willing to back down. But as we've often seen in the past, Smita, the Shiv Sena's bark can sometimes be worse than its bite. They've made their point by blackening the face of Sudheendra Kulkarni. They will get all the headlines that they look for tomorrow. It's a win-win situation for them. Devendra Fadnavis, on the other hand, may be allowed to save face by allowing the function to go ahead. So clearly, while Uddhav Thackeray may now be, if reports are to be believed, may have agreed to back down, the fact is the Shiv Sena has made its point. They've grabbed the headlines that they wanted. I do expect some kind of token protest outside the Nehru Center in Worli where the function is being organized. But I don't expect an actual disruption because both the Mumbai police and Devendra Fadnavis's image and reputation are now at stake.
Okay, Rajdeep, before I cut across to Sahil Joshi, our Mumbai Bureau Chief also who's live with us, just one last comment from you. Does this look across as an arrangement, a convenient arrangement of a good cop, bad cop? Shiv Sena doesn't come out on the street and protest when Ghulam Ali actually performs in the Prime Minister's own constituency of Varanasi. So is this more about a good cop, bad cop arrangement, or is it about fault lines between the alliance emerging and Sudheendra Kulkarni is actually a medium in this?
I think there are two ways to look at it. One, let's be fair, Smita, the Shiv Sena has been consistent about one thing. They have been consistent about endorsing violence and consistent about not allowing any cultural exchanges with Pakistan. There have been, of course, brief occasions, for example, when Bal Thackeray once met the former Pakistan captain Javed Miandad, but they are more exceptions than the rule. The rule has been the Shiv Sena has always been against cultural exchanges with Pakistan. To that extent, the Shiv Sena could say that its opposition to Mr. Kasuri has a long history. Okay. However, at the same time, it is true, as you said, that the Shiv Sena-BJP relationship in Maharashtra has been an extremely turbulent one over the last 1 year. The Shiv Sena has been chafing at the bit, has been treated as a junior partner, not being taken into confidence when important decisions are taken both at the center and in Maharashtra, and periodically they have attacked Narendra Modi and Devendra Fadnavis. So in a sense, Shiv Sena is trying to establish its own distinctive identity by effectively suggesting that when it comes to Pakistan, they are not like the BJP. They will not allow any reach out to Pakistan. They will maintain a hardline position. So clearly there is an element of local politics which is also playing out in the manner that the Shiv Sena is resorting to these headline grabbing tactics.
Absolutely, so Shiv Sena is consistent with its position, and clearly the Uddhav Scion, the Sena Scion is also taking that position forward. For now, Rajdeep Sadasai, many thanks for having joined us. Let's get a word from Sahil Joshi. Sahil, first of all, give us a ground update. What is it that you sense? As Rajdeep said, is it perhaps possible that we'll still see some sort of a token protest outside the Memorial Centre where this book launch is to happen in just about another few minutes?
What Shiv Sena had to convey, they have already conveyed by blacking face of Sudheendra Kulkarni, and my sources are telling me that yes, some of the Shiv Senics have already been planning to gather at the event and conduct some protests. But what form of protest, that is yet to be known. Now, what Sanjay Raut in his press conference, he refused to answer one question, that whether Shiv Sena has decided not to protest anymore or they will continue with the protest. That he hasn't clarified. So he has kept the journalists, media guessing what exactly their stand is going to be. Now, as far as the politics is concerned, the ground reality is concerned, at this point of time, that the police is taking uttermost precaution before letting anyone in the venue. They are taking all the invites, and after that they are letting people in. Some Shiv Sena leaders tried to reach there and try to enter the venue, but they were refused entry inside. So while going, they again threatened that they are not going to allow this function to happen. One. Two, the Sanjay Raut's letter clearly mentioned that the onus is now on the Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis,
right,
because in his statement he has clearly mentioned that there should not be any anti-India remarks in the function which is being held at Nehru Centre.
Okay, Sahil, stay with us. Let me cut across, in fact, live to Kamlesh Suta, who's joining us live from outside that Nehru Memorial Centre, where that book launch is, in fact, about to start now any moment. Kamlesh, take us through what is the situation there outside that centre. Has security been beefed up? What are you hearing from Sena activists and protesters, if any?
Well, yes. Let me first give you the first-hand report from here. This is the gate which enters the Nehru Centre, where the program is scheduled to start in at 5:30. That is another 20 minutes from now. But as you can see, huge police presence at the gate, huge security check there. No one is allowed without proper invitations inside the hall where the function is likely to take place. And not this gate, all the gates, the other gate that lead to the Nehru Centre, the hall where the program is likely to take place in another 20 minutes. Huge police security there. The cops have assured that the program will go peacefully, and there is security so that there is no untowardly incident that takes place. But just a while before, at the press conference where I was present, where Sanjay Raut he clearly said that the opposition to Pakistan or any Pakistani national on Indian soil, for Shiv Sena, it's been a 25-year-old protest, and they have been protesting against it, and it will continue for years to come till Pakistan does not budge from promoting terror on Indian soil. The Shiv Sena has kept everyone guessing whether they will be protesting here now. They said that they will continue the protest. Now, whether that means they will still continue with the protest at the Nehru Centre where there will be token protest, or will it be another round of protest like the Shiv Sena's vandalist style, whether we'll see more vandalism, what we have seen the episode 1 in the morning. Is it likely to be the continuation of what happened in the morning? It's just another 20 minutes from where we'll have to wait and watch what Shiv Sena does.
Kamlesh, clearly, the security looks pretty beefed up from where you are standing, and you're getting us those visuals. But also tell us, what does the guest list look like? What is the program flow going to be? How long will it last? Have the organizers curtailed the program duration in any sort of a way? Have they made any changes to the scheduled program?
No, Smita, apart from the security, nothing has changed for the program. There are key speakers who are going to talk about the book, Neither a Hawk Nor a Dove. That book, there's going to be a discussion on that, a panel discussion which will see participants, speakers like noted actor and director Nasiruddin Shah, noted author and who has written a couple of books on Article 370 and Kashmir, A.J. Nurani. He is going to be another key speaker. Dilip Padgaonkar, a senior journalist, he is going to be another key speaker. And Sudheendra Kulkarni, of course, will be moderating that discussion. So that program will be starting at 5:30 and is likely to continue till 6:30 or 7. And the key speaker, of course, would be the author himself, Khurshid Ahmed Kasuri, Mahmood Kasuri, he would be speaking on his book and his perspective about the book. Of course, initially what we were expecting that there could have been a discussion on the book, but now in the given circumstances, the way circumstances have changed in last 24 hours, we could also expect some discussion and debate on that aspect and that angle as well. Maybe Sudheendra Kulkarni, who addressed the press conference along with Kasuri in the morning, he might speak on something that happened in the morning and the way protests have been. Sudheendra Kulkarni has been maintaining since last Friday when I interviewed him. He said that Kasuri's view about India has always been moderate, and he is one who has always promoted peace between the two countries, and that is what he says he's going to speak at the program that's scheduled at 5:30. So we'll have to wait and watch whether that discussion continues with that or there's also change in that discussion. But all eyes will be outside Nehru Center, where Shiv Sena has still threatened the protest. They say that they're going to continue with the protest. It remains to be seen whether Shiv Senics continue with the protest, or after that discussion, after that letter they've written to the Chief Minister, they'll simply stop by writing to the Chief Minister expressing their anger.
Kamlesh, do stay with us. For viewers who are joining us right now, these visuals on your television screen that you can see, right, they are actually being broadcast live from outside the Nehru Center in Mumbai, where in another 15 minutes from now, we are expecting that book launch to happen of Pakistan's former Foreign Minister Khurshid Mahmood Kasuri, Neither a Hawk Nor a Dove, and this book, which has already been released in the National Capital. You know, during the National Capital book launch, in fact, the panelists actually included leaders like Farooq Abdullah to Yashwant Sinha of the BJP, where Yashwant Sinha clearly differed with Khurshid Mahmood Kasuri on several points. It also had Congress's Mani Shankar Iyer. What is interesting is, as Kamlesh is telling us, as far as the panelists on on this Mumbai book launch is concerned, they seem to be from both the intellectual, civil society sections as well as the political sections, because you have Dilip Padgaonkar, who was the previous government's interlocutor on Jammu and Kashmir, on their 3-member interlocutor panel that had been formed after the 2010 summer uprising in the valley. You have Nasiruddin Shah, an acclaimed actor, somebody who's loved on both sides of the border. So clearly it is going to be of great interest, and Sudheendra Kulkarni himself is organizing this event. Sahil Doshi also continues to be with us. Sahil, also do we have an update on Sudheendra Kulkarni, whether the Maharashtra Chief Minister spoke to Kulkarni? Did he try to reach out to him directly? Because Mr. Kulkarni, I believe, also had to go to the hospital since all of this ink wasn't coming off. Looks like we've lost that link to Sahil. We'll try and reconnect. Kamlesh, if you could hear me, did Devendra Fadnavis at any point today try and reach out to Sudheendra Kulkarni?
Well, the only statement, Smita, that came in from the Chief Minister was quite a balancing act. While on one hand the Chief Minister spoke about giving complete security to the program and diplomats from other countries and anybody who comes, any foreign national who comes on Indian soil with proper documents, proper passports and proper permissions will be given adequate security. That was a statement from the Chief Minister, but in the same breath, the Chief Minister, maybe it's an attempt not to hurt his alliance partner, the Shiv Sena. The Chief Minister says that any anti-India stand in any program on Indian soil will not be tolerated, and if this happens, the organizers of the program will be held responsible for that. So the Chief Minister doing a balancing act there, and that is perhaps also a message to the organizers, to Sudheendra Kulkarni perhaps, that they have to take care of any such act that could perhaps take place in that program, given the kind of opposition that the Shiv Sena is having to this program. The Shiv Sena till now says that the opposition, their opposition to this program continues. They'll continue their protest. And
but Kamlesh, should we, Kamlesh, since reports indicated that perhaps Uddhav Thackeray spoke about backing down, while we saw Aaditya Thackeray's statements through social media which seemed otherwise. So is it really the younger, the junior Thackeray here perhaps who's wanting to take a much more hardline position than his own father?
Well, Aaditya Thackeray's response was particularly on social media against the anguish that was expressed about the incident that took place in the morning against Shiv Sena and the way the Shiv Sena had protested, and the junior Thackeray preferred to reply through the social media, through his social media account, where he said that though Shiv Sena is protesting, the protest is in the larger interest of the martyrs, families who have lost their near and dear ones while fighting for the country, be it at the border or through the terror attacks that have been conducted through Pakistan on Indian soil, and their protest is for that. So Aaditya Thackeray trying to defend what his party did, but this time, yes, as you mentioned, Smita, more than Uddhav Thackeray, we have seen it's the junior Thackeray, Aaditya Thackeray, who has been taking the lead, who has been answering the queries on social media, trying to defend his party. We have seen how Sanjay Raut, the party leader, spoke in the morning defending the act, saying that it was just a mild response to what Sudheendra Kulkarni has been doing, and that was perhaps also a hint that the Shiv Sena might continue with more aggressive protests here at the Nehru Center, where the program is scheduled to start at 5:30.
It's interesting to see how all these Sena activists and leaders try and, in fact, compete to own up this anti-Pakistan agenda, this hardcore radical position, and perhaps show one another, of course, in this one-upmanship game. Earlier it used to be, of course, between Uddhav and Raj Thackeray, but now, in fact, Aaditya Thackeray, Uddhav Thackeray's son, seems to be going a step further. Kamlesh, stay with us. We'll keep coming back to you. But remember, the Shiv Sena today faced flack for this ink attack from various political parties who have condemned the incident in the strongest possible terms. Let's listen in to some of the reactions that flowed in.
My colleague Sudheendra Kulkarni had been attacked, and I strongly condemn whosoever has done it, because these days when people talk about the growing intolerance towards a viewpoint that you are not willing to accept, who has done it I do not know, and therefore I cannot name anyone. I do not want to name anyone, but whosoever has done it has besmirched the good name of the country, in which democracy must ensure tolerance for a different point of view.
Let's get in a word from Sahil Joshi, who's now back on the phone line with us. Sahil, as Vrinda Karar there said, that this is competitive intolerance. Earlier we used to see this entire trying to, who is the bigger sort of protector of the anti-Pakistan sentiment game between Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray. Now, even as Uddhav Thackeray indicates that perhaps there might be a climb down of sorts, his son, Aaditya Thackeray, wants to go there and play this one-upmanship game.
Yeah, absolutely. See, it's very clear that Shiv Sena is getting what Rajdeep was mentioning a while back, that Shiv Sena is getting a secondary treatment in this new government. There is a big difference between what Shiv Sena used to be in the earlier NDA government. Shiv Sena always had its way when Vajpayee was the Prime Minister, when Shiv Sena BJP government was in power in 95 in Maharashtra. But this time the situation has completely changed, especially after the rise of Narendra Modi. Shiv Sena is not getting any importance in the center. Despite Shiv Sena is a big chunk in the Maharashtra government, the Maharashtra government, the BJP government is supported by the Shiv Sena. Despite that, Shiv Sena is not getting the treatment which they are expecting from the Chief Minister. What we saw on Sunday when Narendra Modi was in Mumbai, when he was laying foundation for Dr. Ambedkar's memorial, Metro 3 project, in the whole function, none of the Shiv Sena leaders were present. Uddhav Thackeray chose to leave Mumbai and go to Bid and addressed farmers there. He targeted the BJP government.
Yes.
So it clearly looks like that the first opportunity they got to embarrass the BJP government, the Chief Minister, they took it. Despite Chief Minister's assurance, despite Chief Minister's remarks that such kind of functions cannot be stopped, the government is bound to give the security to these events, and government will ensure the highest level of the security to custody and as well as the function. Despite that, Shiv Sena went ahead with the protest. They knew that they are part of the government, but at the same time, they are also playing the role of the opposition, which they used to play before. They have a consistency in their role of opposing any kind of cultural ties with Pakistan, and that's what they are continuing with that. And despite they being in power, they are continuing with it. So it's
absolutely,
very
and in fact, over the years, they have been called, paper tigers by various sections that have condemned them. But the Sena thinks that perhaps this is still the emotive issue that can be perhaps a political vote bank for them, which is effective. Of course, differing views out there. Sahil Doshi and Kamlesh Yasutar continue to track this story.